on, Chippewa Alliance Church Land Development.
Yeah, since the month started, on a Wednesday, we'll have our planning commission next week, which typically would fall right the day before, it's gonna fall right the day before our next meeting. So, just wanna give you a heads up, Chippewa Alliance Church of 37th Street Extension is planning on putting a new addition on to the front. Kind of giving you an idea with some of the elevations, and the parking lot's gonna be off to the left. They're gonna have some additional parking, and they are doing a masonry structure off the front of it to increase the size of the church. They received a donation, so they're going to move forward with that. I didn't run it as a addition, like a building permit. I ran it as a land development. So because of the extent of the church, I mean, it's like 13,000 some square feet, I believe, of addition. So anyway, just wanted to give you a heads up. They are going to be presenting to the planning commission next week, next Tuesday evening, just to kind of give a preliminary, what they're doing. The one nice thing about this will be this church was built prior to any stormwater regulations. So with this being done, they are now putting in stormwater retention and not sending all the water to Stickle Drive anymore. They'll send it out towards 37th Street, and they'll have a retention area, and it will be discharged into a basin out there. So I think the improvement will help the surrounding neighbors with any issues that they had in the past with stormwater being created by their parking lot, stuff like that. So I think it's positive all the way around. It'll be a new improved church, and the neighbors won't have all their stormwater running down through the back of their yards.
Yeah.
So anyway, just want to present that to you. As we progress and review it, I'll have to eventually have or approve it after the planning commission's recommendation.
All right, the Creech Plan lot line removal.
Yeah, hopefully, this is just a lot line removal in the cul-de-sac over at Waterside Estates. Just combining two lots so the gentleman can build a home. So I imagine that this will be approved, or recommendation for approval next week, so I wanted to give it to you today instead of a day, instead of giving it to you a day ahead of time.
Okay.
So just letting you know that that'll probably be on the agenda for next week.
The Sheets Stormwater Management Agreement.
Yeah, we do these things when they tie into any of our systems, or we do it's just an agreement with us to them in case something would ever happen. That, we have this best practices stormwater agreement, and it falls in line with our MS4 that we have to complete. So as you can see, we'll have to sign it and go through it here and approve it. So if you want to approve it now, you want to approve it next week, it's no big deal. And then
Motion to approve it.
I'll make a motion to approve it. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Might as well just get it done. The proposed ordinances. The first
Yeah.
one is the barking dogs. The second one, the tree and shrubbery maintenance.
yeah, we've Chief gave you guys an ordinance a while back, a proposed ordinance about, and I liked it because for barking dogs, and as far as a nuisance, I liked it because it was very simple. It was very easily, enforced. So I had Shannon go ahead and just have her draft an ordinance so you guys can take a look at it. And also along with that, I came along, I met with Patterson, and then we were talking about shrubbery and things in the right of way. We run into it a lot where a tree will be in the right of way, and it's like, well, it's in the township's right of way, you know what I mean? So it's your tree, and it's like, well, it goes back and forth. So it'll be the responsibility of the person that abuts the road, their shrubbery, or that it would be their responsibility to maintain that. We get into like Gravenhurst, and all those trees are right up near the edge of the road. They just cut them through.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to go in there in the wintertime and salt and do things, and the trees are just banging our mirrors and beating our trucks up in there. So, we sent out a letter and said, hey, could you please trim these trees back? Well, then I said, well, that's not my tree, it's yours. If I went over and cut the tree down, it would be their tree. But, you know, if it falls, then it's my tree. So, we're just trying to establish ownership and maintenance with this ordinance, so.
When you say maintenance, what is or would be?
If we would,
required?
if we run into that issue of those tree limbs, the ordinance will spell out who's responsible for that.
And how would a homeowner know what the right of way is?
Basically, I mean,
These are probably gonna come up, you say, hey, cut your tree back, all right, I cut it back 1 foot, or do I have to cut it back 8 feet or 15 or 25 to get out of the right of way? Like,
I
what
mean,
would that-
we could show where the right of ways are at. I mean, without getting 100% perfect survey.
Mhm.
Typically, a lot of our side street right of ways are 40 feet. So if you go through the center and go 20 each way, that's to say that the road isn't perfect in the middle. I mean, people don't start. They understand that, like, they maintain, like, you maintain your grass to the edge of the road, but ultimately, at the end of the day, you don't pay taxes on that property until your actual property is off of the right of way. So we would, I mean, if it came down to it, to a fine line, we would have to probably get it marked and say, here's the edge of the right of way. You know, everybody says, well, yeah, that right of way is Chippewa Township's right of way, and it kind of is, but it's reserved for public utility.
Mhm.
That's the whole reason behind the right of way. You know, you always say, well, you can't build on the right of way, you can't do this. Well, I can't make everybody put their mailbox off of the right of way. Or you'd be 10 feet up in people's yards delivering mail. So there's different expectations of that. But a lot of times, like, if we'll get in a corner and we'll tell somebody like a sight triangle, and we'll say, hey, we can't see. People can't see to pull out. You need to trim your hedges. They're like, they're not mine. Well, then we end up going up there and have to trim hedges back and stuff because people can't see.
Mhm.
So this kind of like, and I never really knew, and we would always just talk through it.
Mhm.
But when I was talking to Patterson and Patterson Heights, actually I got it from Patterson Heights, they were like, well, we actually got this ordinance from the state and said, you know, we found this would be helpful for us. And I thought, well, I think instead of me just having a conversation with somebody, at least I'd have some backing or something that states what it is.
Okay. And for the parking dogs, anything else?
No, it would just be, it's just, you know, it's after, I believe, so many minutes of continuing marking sheep. I think it was like 5 minutes.
10 minutes
10
constantly
minutes.
in an hour.
You know, what was I know we don't have it yet, but what was the outcome of this? Like, if somebody's doing that, is it a fine, is it a?
I checked with Shannon, and we cannot, our solicitor, we cannot do it under our current orders because it's it's a different section. It would have to go through the typical procedure of what's based in our ordinances. So, it would be, I mean, they could warn as much as they want. It would allow the police or our code enforcement officer to be able to, you know, cite them. And 90% of the time, it's gonna be our police
Mhm.
because they're gonna be getting the call
Yeah.
and monitoring that after hours, stuff like that. So, it would just be it'd be a citation just like it would be a code enforcement type thing.
Okay.
In the past, we've been able to use the state statute, disorderly conduct. For unreasonable noise, we were charged the dog owner.
Mm-hmm.
That requires proof of the dog, who owned it, and then furthermore, the courts hold somebody accountable for their dog bark and charging them criminally is questionable. So
Yeah.
this just gives us another avenue to pursue.
So she'll have those in draft form for next week, just to present to you. Of course, we would have to probably the following month then adopt those.
Okay. And do we have, just since we're doing dog stuff, do we have anything with amount of animals that you can have in your place? Oh, we already have that? Okay.
We have that in our ordinance, correct?
Okay.
Yes.
Letter from Sandy Egley for the property tax.
Yeah, I mean, she reached out to me and asked me my thoughts about coming to Chippewa Township, if we had any area for her. I told her she could set up here. She wants to do like an outreach for collection of county taxes,
Mhm.
and go in different communities, asked us if we would advertise that, if we would be okay with that, and I figured you guys would be fine with it.
And the only thing she did was just picking up a check if someone drops it off here versus them putting it in an envelope. and
Correct.
sticking mail. If it was a cash thing, it would be different, like they would do at the courthouse, but,
You'd be surprised.
yeah. I understand, I think people would come here with cash and she goes, I can't take it.
Correct. But we'll advertise that
Okay.
along with her. And I think she's doing it in a lot of the communities.
Cool.
And she asked if, I said, hey, if she has 3 people, who cares? I mean, it's benefit for our community
Yeah.
to have people come here if they wanna drive here and hand her a check and pay their taxes in person here.
That's good publicity for her, too.
Yeah, I mean,
Bless.
yeah, that's what I said. I don't see an issue with it. They're coming in here to pay their township taxes and stuff, and the school taxes they pay here.
Yeah.
So ultimately, at the end of the day, what makes a difference to come in for 1 day or 2 days and pay taxes for their county?
Yep, works for me. Approval to move, 45,000 from the, field rental money to Edward Jones.
It's actually 450.
Alright.
Yeah, we have that account set up for the rental of the fields. We've been taking money from that, saving it to when we need to resurface the field. So we have that much money built up in the account now, which is close to being enough. If we needed to resurface, we would be covered. So we're just taking the money from the rentals, rejuvenating the field every 10, 12 years. Thanks to Lauren with renting it out more than we anticipated at the time, around $20,000 a year. She's way over that. I don't, the money market that it's sitting in right now is getting us like not even 2%. I'd rather sweep that account, leave enough in there. I think there's 469 in there. We'll leave, because we do pay like porta potties and stuff out of that at certain points. So I mean, I leave enough in the account to not close it. But take that and put it into an account with like Edward Jones, so we can get like 4.2. It's almost like a savings account anyway, and get like 4.2%.
Do we have an idea how many more years we have until we have to resurface?
Yeah, well,
Our last inspection 2 years ago said we have at least 6 more years,
So
probably.
would it be better to move it to a different account if we know that it's gonna be 4 to 5 more years until we do it? Put it in a more restricted account that we would get a higher interest rate if we wouldn't need it for it.
I mean, I can look into a different type of account that we might get us like 7. Because I mean, as the rentals come in, we have enough money to cover it, like the ongoing costs. I don't know, I wouldn't have an issue with that. I mean, I just knew that was simple and easy. We could get our hands on it within 48 hours if we needed it.
What would we need it for?
I don't
if we-
really know what
Yeah,
we would
so
really
why would
100%
we
need it for.
Lock it up for 5 years at a
Get
higher
another
rate,
0.5% or whatever.
and if you get another 1 or 2 with
Well,
close
we're-
to $500,000, that's significant.
We're bringing in, like, right now, I think we're at 82 for this year. I think we'll be over 100,000 for this year once we do fall billing. So the next couple of years, we'll bring in a couple more 100,000.
Yeah.
So maybe
I don't
let's see
have
if
a
there's an
problem.
option at Edward Jones to lock it up better or someplace else.
Yeah, I mean, if it is, why not? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I could.
yeah, because we're not gonna be using it. Okay, in our,
I'll see if
Half%
they even offer something else.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, something that's less flexible maybe.
Yeah, something that's less flexible, that get the money, and then
Yeah.
if we locked it up for like 4 or 5 years, it would be fine. Cause that's what it's slated for. If we get 7 or 8 more years, then we can always rethink that at that time.
Yeah.
We
But at least
inspect,
the money's there.
we make a point to inspect the turf every 2 years, just to make sure we're on par. We just did a lot of repairs, just like line tears and stuff like that last summer. Or actually this past spring, sorry. So we're doing well with the maintenance of it and keeping up with it, so we're hoping to extend the life as much as we can.
Good.
Well, I'll have him look into some things, and ultimately, at the end of the day, I need to get approval, number 1, number 2. There's usually some paperwork that goes with it, and I would need you guys to sign, so I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of my thoughts on it, instead of leaving it sitting there getting nothing.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a longer-term savings account for
Yeah.
us until the day comes where we need to redo the field, and
Yeah.
no sense of leaving it sit there.
Yep, makes sense. The 2026 budget.
Yeah, Annette emailed the worksheet to you. I have a hard copy on your desk in there. You're welcome to start looking at it. I would like to, maybe next week or the following, doesn't matter, we can do it by email, figure out, when you guys would like to, if you guys would like to have a budget meeting. Right now, I mean, we have the budget to the point increase this year, maybe next year, a slight increase if we want to do something like with the fire department. That would be probably where I would recommend that to happen under their budget. But that would be about it. I mean, as far as general fund goes and as far as like, you know, our incomes coming in and going out, I mean, we're still doing very, very well, and with the continued development in the township and our assessed value going up, that's kind of what offsets. I mean, you know, I think about like, you know, how much things cost so much more now, and it's costing us more, but we're getting more money in with the new developments
Mhm.
and things to that kind of offset that.
With the reassessment and the value, is the value of a mill different than what it was previously? Do we know now? It used to be $170,000.
This is the first year, and it seems to be fine.
But do we know what that is if we were to?
I'll know in November
Okay, so if we were to raise one mill, we would need to know what.
what that would come in.
So-
I will know, they come out about mid-November, I believe, is when the new assessed value rates come out. So that's why I'm always like, if we can get this budget to work under our current circumstances, I'm always hoping, because we've gained every year a little assessed value,
Mhm.
and that's what's given us that little bit of a buffer. So I'm hoping that with the continued development, you know, you never know. Right now, I just received an appeal from Waller again, so I'm gonna talk to Shannon about that, because I mean, that's a big thing for us.
Yep.
They just did that how long ago, and they're doing it again.
Mhm.
So I don't know if they're just appealing their reassessment. They probably are, but I've gotten like a couple other ones in the township, so I know it's easy to say, well, look at the development, but we have other people appealing and lowering them. So that's kind of like starts to offset that,
Mhm.
that income. So we just need to figure out, we'll know in November what our income will actually 100% be.
Okay.
But I can't wait until November
Sure.
to start
Just
this
to give
budget
us an idea
process.
if we need to
No
make
doubt,
some
and
adjustments.
it'll tell us that,
we have an idea.
it'll show you the value of that dollar, yes.
Mhm. Okay, department reports, if anybody has any comments, please go with them. Police, anything else, chief, you'd like to? Street department, recreation, Warren, anything else?
We have our Chili Salem Fall Festival on Sunday.
Oh, that's good.
Schoolhouse from 2 to 5.
Good. Code enforcement?